Welcome to Mike Ferry TV. It is the week of November 19th, or here in the United States, it is Thanksgiving week. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope you work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Enjoy your Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, and get back to work. I want to start today with a little different thought process for you. One of the things that I discovered this past May and June when I did my annual pre-Superstar Retreat tour throughout California, Nevada, Arizona. And I talked to over 60 different real estate companies, each one for about 3 hours, to their agents. I came across something that I think we need to look at very carefully. Because the question comes up all the time is, why do so many real estate people fail? You know, what is the real cause of that? And the truth is there's 100 reasons why they fail. I mean, it's a lack of experience, they don't get any training, there's no accountability. You know, there's just so many things. They lack motivation. They don't have to work. Their spouse does very well. But I came across two things that I want to mention as we start today. I want you to think about them this week. I want you to make sure that we can dispel these two things from you over the course of now Thanksgiving to Christmas. The first thing I discovered was the biggest reason why agents don't succeed is they have no experience in business. No experience in business. The majority of people coming into real estate do not come from a strict business background. In fact, I'm going to say if 5% of all the agents actually have a business background, it's probably considered a lot. The second thing I discovered in my tour in talking to virtually tens of thousands of agents was the fact that very few people in real estate have any sales experience prior to coming into real estate. Now, there's two types of sales. Retail, where you have a storefront, an operation in a shopping center on a corner location. You do some marketing and advertising, people come in to buy your products and services. Or wholesale, direct sale, where you take what you have out to the public and try to find somebody to buy your products or services. Well, in real estate, I would say maybe 2 or 3, maybe 4% of all the agents come into a direct sales business, because real estate is a direct sales business with any sales experience. As a result, the changes that you have to go through, and we're talking about a lot of changes. I mean, we're doing 100 plus prospects and lead follow-up. I mean, we're only talking about one little tiny phase of the business. Time management, prospecting, lead follow-up, pre-qualifying, listing presentation, showing presentation, handling objections, closing the sale, negotiating the contract, doing the administrative work, good customer service, profitability, business planning. I mean, there's so many aspects. And in this particular series, over the course of, 10 or 12 weeks, we're only looking at basically prospecting and lead follow-up. If you don't have a lot of experience in this business, in terms of direct sales, and you're not willing to go get that experience, which you're doing here with me, you're in trouble, period. I mean, the chances of you making a reasonable amount of money are very slim. Oh, anybody can make a living in real estate. Is that why you're here, to make a living? We're looking now at planning, of course, 2013. We want to build our business in 2013. Do you want to build it if you've done 12 transactions to 13? If you've done 4, do you want to build it to 5? No. You want to do something substantial in this business. It takes business and sales experience. You need to gain that as fast as you can. Part of it is studying the Mike Ferry sales system. Part of it is watching Mike Ferry TV and then doing the things we ask. By the way, did you implement the massive prospecting program I talked about last week? Did you listen to the Mike Ferry listing presentation download at least 3 times last week? See, those are the things we talk about in learning how to become a great salesperson. So let's continue, okay? It's a short week, so we're not going to cover too much this week. In most cases, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then your Thanksgiving holiday. Point number 48, if you do have an assistant, you might want to train your assistant to actually do some calling for you an hour a day. Now, I know some of you are going to say, in our state, that person has to be licensed. Well, then get them licensed if that's the case. Point 49, teach your staff to do lead follow-up for you. If you have an assistant, have your assistant take some of the leads. Hi, Mrs. Smith. This is Mary calling from Mike Ferry. He's asked me to set an appointment for you sometime on Tuesday. Would 4 or 5 be better? See, the assistant reading a script is not going to have the hang-ups that many times you have. They're not afraid of the rejection, being afraid told no, because it doesn't mean anything to them. You, of course, are not going to do the lead follow-up. You should be, because you're afraid of the no. I wrote down number 50, take better care of your existing and past clients, or they'll almost always become somebody else's future client. What types of hang-ups do you have during the normal listing period? What types of hang-ups do you have when a listing sells or you have a buyer-controlled sale? Hang-ups meaning the relationship, the communication, and how you work with the buyer and seller. Guys and gals, when they've trusted you to list their home, when they've trusted you to find them a home, that's a pretty sacred relationship that you have to care for a lot. And the more you care for that relationship, the more referrals you're going to get in the future. Number 51, because I've told you in the past, there's really no order of importance, okay? This particular point becomes important, meaning the biggest problem in prospecting, doesn't matter who you're calling, is making the first call. That's the biggest problem. We hesitate. You know, we're getting ready to get going, to begin, to get moving, to do something, maybe tomorrow, if we have the time, provided nothing comes up. We have one foot nailed to the ground and we just spin for days, weeks, months at a time. The hardest part is making the first call. That's why, see, I suggest all the time, let's say that you're going to start your prospecting at 9 o'clock. 8:30 to 9, you're role-playing with somebody else, somebody in your office, one of the people you met through our programs, an accountability partner. You're role-playing whatever script you're going to use that day. So then when that role play ends, you're in the rhythm, you have momentum to pick up the phone and make that first call. If you have a major hang-up, making your first call each day to get things started, I'm going to strongly recommend then that you always call a past client or center of influence first, where you're going to get a warm reception, you're going to get a friendly reception, you're going to get somebody that's willing to talk to you. It's very, very important. So now let's change directions a little bit with point 52. Watch. Define what a lead is. My definition of a lead is a person who wants to buy or sell in the next 7 to 10 days. Now, every time I'm doing an action workshop, sales talk workshop, speaking at an event, and I say to the audience, my definition of a lead, a person that wants to buy or sell in 7 to 10 days. Half the audience goes blank. 7 to 10 days, my definition of a lead is a person that buys or sells during the course of my career, over the course of the next 5 years. And you're telling me 7 to 10 days? Well, now if you're prospecting every day, you know that your prospecting is a numbers game. We talked about that in week number 1. We know that lead follow-up is a numbers game. Not everybody that says they're going to buy or sell is going to buy or sell. So therefore, the shorter that lead length that I have, the more prospecting I do, the more I churn through the ones that aren't going to do anything, lack of motivation, and I find the ones that are. Now, I'm not saying to you, you have to have a definition of 7 to 10 days, but I'm going to say the following to you. What scares most people in lead follow-up is they do not understand, they don't sit down and define, A, what a lead is, B, how often they should contact them, and they never define the magic question they want to ask them, which is, can we set an appointment for this week? How about this thought? You got a lead card, Mrs. Smith. Mrs. Smith, it's Mike Ferry. We met last week. I'd like to ask you a question. Do you still have to sell your home? Oh, you do, great. Can we set an appointment for this week? Well, no, we don't want to actually sell it for 90 days. Great, Mrs. Smith. I'm anxious to help you in 90 days. You've got my name and number. Call me when you're ready, and I'll come and list your home. But see, most of us, we don't do that because we're afraid to be told no. And if we're told no, then we don't have a lead. And if we don't have a lead, we think we lose all of our security. And if we don't have any security, we have to go prospect. So we hold on to bogus leads as a method of not having to prospect. Point 54, be very selective who you put into your lead follow-up system. Very selective. I'm only going to follow up on people that actually want to do something. Now watch, the word motivation. What is your motivation? Only 1,000 now have registered for our great program we offer you. We still have 7,000, 8,000, 9,000 watching each week, and 1,000 have actually participated. That means a lot of people don't have the motivation that they say they have. See, if you have no motivation and the seller has no motivation, you're going to take an overpriced, lousy listing in maybe 3 or 6 months from now. What is the motivation of the seller? Because that's exactly what you do. I only follow up on people that are highly motivated. And point 55, spend more time qualifying and less time building a relationship with the leads. And I'm always amazed that still today, here we are towards the end of 2012, and there's still seminars and workshops for real estate people all about how to build a relationship and build rapport. These people don't want a relationship. They want their home sold. We've had 5 to 6 years of a very traumatic economic problem, at least in the U.S. and in most of the world. They don't want a new best friend. They want somebody to sell their house to find them a house. Less time building relationships, more time actually qualifying and finding out what's going to happen. So reminders for this week: download the pre-qualifying script on the listing presentation. The link is on this page. Define for yourself what a lead is and throw the ones away that don't qualify. Continue prospecting 3 hours at least Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of this week. Continue tracking your numbers. And if you're in the U.S., we of course wish you a happy Thanksgiving. And we're looking forward to starting again next Monday on the next phase of this program. Remember, my job is to gain sales experience, and I can gain that by participating, by getting involved, energetically, enthusiastically, with a positive mindset in the program you're watching today. Have a great holiday. See you next Monday.